I've just had an email from an electronics student who, realizing he's back at college very soon, is trying to answer a couple of resistor network questions set by his tutor. Something to keep you busy over the summer break, he was told. This is a copy of what he attached to his email. A simple resistor network and 3 easy-to-answer questions, if you go about it the right way. His plea to me: where do I even start? The main formulas that we need are Ohm's law and power law. If I tidy up the drawing, we get this: 6 resistors in a network with a 144 volt DC supply. Something else that I'm often asked: how do I identify the positive and negative terminals of a DC supply, a battery for example? I always forget. It's easy. 2 lines, a long one and a short one. Take the longer line and divide it into 2 separate half lines, and now if we rotate one of the half lines, we can make a plus sign, plus for the positive terminal. The shorter line is unaltered and looks like a negative sign, so that is the negative terminal. It's worked as a memory jogger for me for nearly 50 years. Let's hope it works for you. Back to the question. I've coloured in the resistors on the drawing just to make it easier to follow, and this is not normally necessary. This is how I calculate networks. To start, label each node as shown using the letters A through to M, the first half of the alphabet. On this drawing, the 2 nodes marked D are the same point electrically and thus have the same letter D. Now, this is the secret to solving networks. Break the circuit at the battery terminals. Leave the 144 volt positive side where it is and roll out the 0 volts or negative side into a straight line. Do this by drawing each of the 5 nodes A to E in a straight line and then copying the position of each resistor between the nodes from the top drawing onto the bottom drawing. You should end up with the bottom drawing looking like mine. And now give each resistor a letter beginning N, O, P, etc., the second half of the alphabet. As I said, this is how I do it because it makes it easier to follow. This is the top drawing with the resistors lettered N to S. And now the bottom drawing all lettered to match the top drawing. Check that you have 5 nodes on both drawings and 6 resistors. Check on both drawings that you have the correct number of lines from each node. Getting it right at this stage will save lots of time doubling back on your work. Both drawings must be identical. Node A has 2 lines, one to the battery, one to the resistor N. Node B has 4 lines, one to N, one to O, one to Q, and one to R, and so on. Now we can start calculating some values for effective resistance between the nodes. An effective resistance is the resistance that the circuit sees, not necessarily the actual values of the individual resistors. Resistors in series will always be bigger. Resistors in parallel will be smaller. First, we need to calculate the effective resistance of the circuit between nodes B and D, as there are resistors in series and resistors in parallel here. I've used O plus P to show that O and P are in series with each other and that their values must be added together. A 60 ohm and a 12 ohm resistor in series have an effective resistance of 72 ohms, and we will call these 2 resistors together as OP. Now for the next resistor between nodes B and D. This is Q and is in parallel with OP, so we show this as Q // OP, the slashes signifying a parallel operation. This is 36 multiplied by 72 divided by the sum of 36 plus 72. giving an answer of 24 ohms, and we've labelled this QOP. If you're not familiar with the MAD formula, MAD, it's a quick and easy calculation to find the effective resistance of any two resistors. It is A multiplied by B on the top row, then A added to B on the bottom row, and finally divide the top row by the bottom row. Multiply, add, divide, the MAD formula. So we have Q multiplied by OP on the top, then Q added to OP on the bottom, and then the top row divided by the bottom row. The advantage is that you can keep adding resistors and recalculating, as we shall see. There is another method, and we will leave a link to that particular video in the description to this video. We continue. Now another parallel resistor between nodes B and D, which is resistor R. So the calculation now is R in parallel with QOP. So we write R//QOP. The effective resistance of resistor R in parallel with QOP is called RQOP and is 12 ohms in value. This is an important answer because RQOP is the total effective resistance across nodes B and D. The effective resistance between nodes B and D is 12 ohms, and we could replace all four of these resistors with just one resistor with a value of 12 ohms. But that takes away the fun. Now add in resistor N to RQOP. They are in series, so we have N plus RQOP to give a value of 36 ohms and a label of NRQOP. And finally add resistor S to make SNRQOP equal to 48 ohms. The effective resistance of the whole circuit is therefore 48 ohms. And that is all the resistance calculations. Stay logical, stay in control, and it's easy with practice. Now calculate the total current using Ohm's law. We know that the total effective resistance is 48 ohms. We've just calculated it. We also know that the circuit voltage, the DC supply, is 144 volts. We were given that information. Using Ohm's law, the total circuit current, or I, is voltage divided by resistance. So we have 144 volts divided by 48 ohms and an answer of 3 amps. Now that we have the total circuit voltage, the circuit resistance and the circuit current, we can calculate individual values for individual resistors. We need to know the whole circuit values first before we can calculate single values for voltage, current and watts. Using Ohm's law again, voltage equals current multiplied by resistance, or V equals I times R. We have, between nodes A and B or resistor R, 3 amps multiplied by 24 ohms, which is 72 volts. We can't calculate B to C or C to D yet, we need more information. Nodes B to D are for the parallel resistors RQOP, and we have 3 amps multiplied by 12 ohms, which is 36 volts. And nodes D to E for resistor S is 3 amps multiplied by 12 ohms, which is also 36 volts. Check your numbers. 72 volts plus 36 plus 36 is 144 volts, the same as the supply voltage. All good. Now we must calculate the voltage drops B to C and C to D for the series parallel resistor part. B to D is 36 volts from a previous calculation. B to C is the 60 ohm resistor. We find the voltage across this by dividing O by O plus P and then multiplying the answer by 36 volts. In other words, 60 divided by 72 multiplied by 36. This gives an answer of 30 volts. Now for resistor P. This is P divided by O plus P multiplied by 36 volts. 12 divided by 72 and then multiply by 36 volts, an answer of 6 volts. Check our answers. 30 plus 6 is 36 volts, the same as the voltage drop from node B to node D. All good. Now we can complete the table for all voltage drops across all nodes. Voltage is done. Move on to the current through each resistor. Ohm's law again. This time we will use current equals voltage divided by resistance, or I equals V divided by R. We can calculate resistor N current as 72 volts divided by 24 ohms, and this is 3 amps. The full circuit current, 3 amps, flows through the resistor N at nodes A to B. The same is true of nodes D to E and resistor S. The full circuit current must flow through it, so 36 volts divided by 12 ohms is 3 amps again. This brings us to nodes B to D, which again must have the full circuit current of 3 amps flowing through. But what of the individual resistors? They will be different, but must all add up to 3 amps. Resistors O and P are in series, so must have the same current share of the 3 amps. So 36 volts divided by 72 ohms is 0.5 amps, half an amp. Resistor Q is 36 volts divided by 36 ohms to give 1 amp of current. And resistor R is 36 volts divided by 24 ohms to give 1.5 amps. Add these 3 numbers together. A half plus 1 plus 1.5 is 3 amps. Exactly the number for the current through nodes B to D. Job done. Now we can calculate the watts in each resistor. This is important because we must select resistors with a working wattage rating of at least the calculated values if we don't want the resistors to burn out. We will use power law for this, and in particular power equals voltage multiplied by current, or P equals V times I. Here are the calculations for each individual resistor. The question only asked for the watts at the 60 ohms resistor, but we may as well calculate all resistors for the practice. Pause the video and follow each calculation to be sure of understanding what we've done and how we've got there from the first slide. Now we can answer the questions that we were originally asked. Question 1. What is the voltage across the 24 ohm resistor? 36 volts. Question 2. How much current flows through the 36 ohm resistor? 1 amp. And question 3. Calculate the wattage of the 60 ohm resistor, and this is 15 watts, 15. Now it's over to you to attempt a resistor network question. This is an easy network for you to try. Pause the video and make your own drawings. Attempt to answer each question and do follow the steps as shown in the first part of this video. You can't rush an answer. Start by working out the whole thing and then work backwards to find the individual values. Pause the video, make your own drawings and answer these 5 easy questions. A hint, the questions are in the same order as we solved the previous example. If you need a little help, take a look at the next slide, but do try to work it out for yourself first. Assign letters to each of the nodes and resistors. The nodes marked B are the same point electrically. There is only one node B. The nodes marked C are again the same point electrically. There is only one node C. Make the network into a straight line, starting at the positive supply terminal and ending at the negative supply terminal. Check on your drawing that you have the right number of nodes and resistors, and check that each node has the correct number of lines coming out of it. The answers are on the next slide. Move on when you think that you have your 5 answers. Here are my answers. The green box shows the total circuit values, the starting point to calculate everything else. The yellow box gives the voltage drop, current and watts for each resistor in the network. And the table at the bottom gives the answers to the 5 questions. If you have wrong answers, go back over your workings and calculations. The practice will help your understanding of solving networks. They say that we learn most when we make mistakes. And here is the original network drawing for this question, along with a repeat of the answers. Hopefully you did well and understand much more. Practice and more practice is the key to any learning. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful, informative and interesting. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. And don't forget, you can also type in LearnElectrics into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer or smart device. We are constantly adding new videos to our channel, so don't miss the next one. And once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.